can't tell if this mic's on. Hold on. Yeah, it's on. Hey, I think I got this thing rigged up now where I can take you guys on the bike with me. That's what I got. I knew them old COVID masks would come in handy for something. That's just holding the bottom part and it's tied onto the cell phone post. I think it'll work. It's not too shaky. Well, maybe a little bit, but this camera's pretty good, man. The stabilizers inside of it is very good. It don't shake as bad as my phone. The last video I did, you couldn't even really, it was hard for me to watch. I would hate to upload it onto YouTube. But anyway, I'm gonna put these speakers up. We'll go for a ride. We'll go to the Boulevard. I wanted to go over a few questions that people had asked in the comments and a few other things. But anyway, be right back. I've been wanting to make videos since the other day, my last video, which was, I didn't know at the time, it was 7 minutes and 50 seconds or 57 seconds long. It was 3 minutes from being able to be monetized. I didn't even know that there was an 8-minute limit. Shows you how green I am. But anyway, fixing to take this bad boy on a ride, go somewhere. It's been raining, dude, nonstop. It just now stopped about maybe 30 minutes ago, and it's been raining since 48 hours ago, off and on. But either way, I've been stuck at this joint. I'm ready to get out and do something. I'm going to the Boulevard, see what it looks like during the day. And for the record, I'm wearing my helmet. But this is the helmet that they gave me at the rental place, so I don't really know if it's approved or not, but this is what they gave me. This is all I got. So I'm gonna use it. And the cops didn't seem to care about it as much as the people in my comments. But either way, we're going for a ride. I told y'all that traffic was something else. Sudden stops and everything. You gotta be on your P's and Q's. But this is the Boulevard. I think I know I got one video of this place at night. Hold on, let me turn this thing off. It's beeping at me, I didn't do something right. There we go. It's locked up. We're good to go. But anyway, at nighttime, all of this is lit up and it's beautiful. All of these are like food stalls over here. And this, they do massages like pedicures, manicures, all kind of different massages. But this is the place to be at nighttime. It's the first time I've been here during the daytime. It looks pretty cool. But obviously the port's right over there. That's where you can catch the different ferries, as far as like the ones that you can put your motorcycle or your car on to go over to Siquijor, Cebu, or Tagbilaran, which is Bohol. You can go to any of those places. Actually, I think you can get a ticket to where you can go to more than one place. Like you can go, I think like you buy one ticket, and I think you can go from from Dumageddi to Cebu, from Cebu to Manila, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that one, but I know that you can do that with your motorbike, because I was watching this one guy on YouTube, I think it was Geo actually, where he rides with these guys on motorbikes, and they do all kind of long trails and go camping and stuff, which looks really fun. I think you can go basically everywhere, all the islands, without ever having to get off your bike if you wanted to. But anyway, I thought about doing that, and that was one of the things I wanted to address. Everybody was on me about the helmet, but that's what they gave me at the rental place. And that's what I see on everybody's head. I mean, I see some people with full face helmets, but 95% of them have on that same kind of, it looks like a skateboard helmet. I'm pretty sure it is, but even the cops are wearing that. So, you know, that's what I got. That's what I'm wearing. But anyway, the motorbike, once I get one of my own, like next month after I'm in Darwin, I plan on buying a motorcycle or a scooter, but I have to get my ACR card first, because once I get my ACR card, I can get a driver's license with a, I guess the motorcycle permit. I didn't have that on my American driver's license, so I have to get that here. And in order to get that, I think I have to do the driving test and all that stuff. But in order to even get that far, I have to have the ACR card. So for anybody that's coming over here, keep that in mind. And also, if you don't want to jump through all of those hoops, there is people that'll help you. And the one that I've found after doing a couple weeks of research, I wasn't going to mention it until I did my own due diligence, but I know you guys have heard of Christian Filipina. I mean, if you're looking for a wife and looking for a girl that's been vetted, like she's serious, there's no, you know, she doesn't have a previous marriage that she's stuck in. They've been vetted to the point, as much information as they can get to make sure that they're not there to take advantage of anyone, to the best of their ability anyway. You can do the Christian Filipina for that, and they'll also help you with all of your retirement needs as far as visas, getting everything sorted out, all of those things, but mainly the visa, like the retirement visas or the various visas that you could apply for. They will pretty much do all of the legwork for you to make it a whole lot easier. And if I wasn't in a hurry to get over here, now that I've done it the way I've done it, actually it's been fun doing it the way I'm doing it, but there was some high stress moments that I'm sure that a lot of people could do without. But for me, it was like, part of the adventure. But, you know, for some of the, and it's for men and women, they have a separate thing that's a part of Christian Filipina, but it's Filipina Visa. And I've got both links down in the description. But anyway, they will walk you through everything, man or woman. I asked them about that because all you ever hear about is the guys coming over here. And the West, no matter where you're at in the West, if you're getting close to retirement or you're already retired, no matter what your pension is, well, not no matter what your pension is, but most people, I would go as far as to say 85% of the people, statistically, are just making ends meet at best. But over here, you can take that same money and up your standard of living at least 4 times what you're doing in the West, depending on your situation. And this doesn't count for everybody. I can only speak from my own personal opinion, from the information that I've gathered in the short period of time that I've been here. So I definitely don't know everything and never will claim to act like I do. Some people say that in the comments, and I see why. I understand, but you know, not saying that I'm incapable of making mistakes, for sure. far from it. Probably the opposite is true. But I will be as transparent as I possibly know to be, and that's the only thing I can do. But check this boat out, man. It looks like a pirate ship. If you was a kid, you could have some hell of a sword fight out here. You see him smiling. That's all you got to do. Get attention out here, just wave. But anyway, that I asked them specifically. They actually reached out to me via email about two or 3 weeks ago. It was actually the day before I got monetized. It was like all this good stuff started happening at the same time, which is awesome. But I believe that, you know, since then there's been a lot of hiccups and trials in place where, you know, learning life lessons and just me being aware of those life lessons, not just the ticket thing, like the situation of me jumping the gun and getting this room sight unseen for 2 weeks. If I would have maybe not had so much to drink and behold for my last night, I would have been, you know, a little less tired, a little less aggravated, and I wouldn't have rented the room for 2 weeks. If I would have put a little more thought into it, I would have just rented that room for like 2 days or 3 days, because that's all it takes. If you're coming over here, no matter what city you're in the Philippines that I've visited, I can't speak for all the cities because I haven't been everywhere. And people in the comments are critical, man. Just to get off subject a little bit, but I'd made a comment in one of my videos about how people in the South like to stand on their own 2 feet and don't really like handouts. You know, it's and I know that that's common in other places, but I've never lived nowhere else, so I can only speak on the people that I grew up around. I'm not saying that it's not that way anywhere else in the world. I'm sure that it's that way in most places where there's good people. Proud people. And I think just about everybody that I've met in the Philippines seems to be that way in every city. And that's all I was saying. Whether you're in the Midwest, West Coast, East Coast, I don't know about those places except for where I grew up at in North Carolina. And lots of other places that I've been to in the South because of family members and things of that nature. So when I speak, I don't speak in like a totalitarian. I don't know everything. I haven't been everywhere. I can only tell you my truth from my experience, and that's the best I can do, man. That's the best I have to offer. And for some people, that'll never be good enough, and I'm okay with that. And I'm sure most of you would be too. But this is pretty cool. There's extending this walk. This was one of the reasons why I wanted to come to Dumageddi. It don't look like much in the daytime because nobody comes out in this sun most of the time. But they are extending this walk all the way down, even past that port. They're building it right now. It's really cool. And you can fish out here at nighttime. I see people out here fishing all the time. It's low tide right now. It's not as a beautiful beach like Bohol, but the simple fact that you can come here and park at one spot and walk this boardwalk along this area right here and go to so many different restaurants with live music for free, no entry fee. There's very few people trying to sell you stuff on the street. It's just not as touristy. I know everybody, it seems like everybody on YouTube is like Dumageddi, Dumageddi, Dumageddi. And that's what I thought too. And people do come here to vlog, but it's a small city, but it's kind of spread out. And I think most of the people live on the outskirts like what I'm doing. Like I'm going to Darwin, which they call it the outskirts, but if you're from America, anywhere in America, you know, 20 minutes is, you know, that's just the other side of town, if that. Hey, how's it going? But you know, 20 minutes isn't that bad. And Valencia is probably one of the most vlogged places, one of many of the most vlogged places, because it has so much to offer as far as scenic views and things like that, which I'm gonna get up there. And the only reason the main reason I'm making this vlog today, I didn't want to leave anybody hanging, but initially when I got to the room, the internet was great. Since it started raining, dude, even whenever I make one little adjustment to a video that I've taken, it takes like 10 minutes for me to be able to continue on the software that I'm using. And the software is generally good if the internet's good, just for those things. And I probably need to learn some other software, but I'm still learning this one. I wish, honestly, if you're thinking about doing YouTube, I would recommend, like, no matter when you're starting, I would recommend learning the software months and months in advance, which I attempted to, but they've changed a lot of things. They've changed a lot of things in the software that I'm using. I mean, it's still good. It's still kind of the same layout, but they've got more features. And some of the features, I don't quite understand what they do just yet. So I'm just kind of clicking buttons and seeing what happens. And some buttons that I click, next thing you know, it's 30 minutes before before I can move on. But anyway, trying to think of what else was the main comments. I'm starting to get so many comments, which is freaking awesome. But I can't, it's hard for me to go through them all and answer each one. So I'm trying to address them in a video. And when I get to Darwin, it's gonna be a whole lot easier, because from what I could tell whenever I went through the little apartment complex, or whatever you wanna call it, resort, I'm not sure what they would call it. Very nice, I like it. But anyway, they had their main internet, and they had a lot of the internet extensions that you can actually plug in an Ethernet cord. So in the near future, I plan to do some lives, hopefully outside, you know. Hopefully, it'd be real cool if I could do them by the pool at nighttime or something, because they got lights up out there. That would be really cool. But that's what I want to do. And I'll be able to put out daily vlogs. Like, I've been making daily vlogs on the camera itself, but I haven't been able to edit those vlogs and get them out. So I'm really ahead of the game when it comes to recording and getting some things on film. Or I said film, showing my age, on video, I guess. But actually, let me go down here and walk by the water, same way I came. So I've got plenty of stuff in reserve. I just need to edit it, and that's been the trying task. And like I was saying a minute ago, that's what I wanted to get across. Like, there's trials and error whenever you move into a new country, sight unseen, and you're just going off of the information that you've got off of YouTube. And just like my information is not going to be 100% accurate 100% of the time. Shoot, I don't even know if I'm 75%, 50% of the time, but I'm doing the best I got. I'm doing as honest as I possibly can from my point of view. And that's all I got. that's the best I could do. But once I get to Darwin and I'm stable and I can put my bags up, I've only got 2 bags. But on a motorbike, it's kind of hard to travel with those 2 bags if they both don't fit in the seat. And the one that I've got now, it does hold one of the bags, but the bigger bag has to be on my back. But if I'm going to do a 2-hour trip or something like that, man, it's even just riding without the bag, you know, that's a long hike on sitting on your booty on a motorcycle. Any of you guys ever rode bikes, you know what I'm talking about. And you know, I ain't a spring chicken no more. Get off of that thing, be stuck in a seated position for the next hour, especially all them bumps. But when I go to buy one, I've been doing my research, and I'll take you guys along because I want to go actually look at the scooters. A lot of people's in the comments asking me about that. So I'm going to go and shop around before I purchase one. And to be honest with you, I am not rich by no means, but it looks like this YouTube thing is going to give me opportunity to do a lot more, and I really appreciate that. But once I go shopping for a scooter, the cheapest to the most expensive, honestly, the difference in cost is only like $1,200. Like, from the cheapest motorbike that I've found, which is around, I think, like 75, 80,000 pesos, which I'm pretty sure that's like $1,000 or a little less maybe, all the way up to, like, in US dollars, maybe 2,600. And that's the ones that I've looked at. I'm sure that there's maybe some more expensive ones, but that pretty much covers everything. So anything between $1,000 and just call it $3,000, you can get whatever scooter you want, whatever scooter you can find. The one that has caught my eye at the moment, well, there's a couple of them, but the main one, for various reasons, is the Honda ADV. The reason why is it's an off-road scooter. I guess is what you call it. But it's got shocks that's designed for on off-road, which makes a difference because every road around here isn't paved, as you guys have seen from some of my videos. But this can handle it, and it's designed for it. So I mean, you're not gonna go hitting no doubles on it or anything. But hey, how's it going? But it'll handle the bigger bumps, and I like that. And it's more expensive. I think it's like $162,000. I can't remember what that is, but that's in that higher bracket, closer to 26, 2,700, something like that. But if I buy what I want the first time, I should be able to take it and like travel to Sikihor just by putting it on the ferry. And it's got a fairly large storage compartment. So what my plan is once I get stable in Darwin, I'll be able to pack up one to-go bag, so to speak, and go to, like, say, Sikihor or Cebu for 3 or 4 days. And I won't need, but a couple changes of clothes. I'm simple. I know y'all see me in these videos. I'm wearing the same shirts because I don't own but like 5 shirts. That's it, man. Once my divorce was set, I gave all my clothes away, and the ones that my son or other people that we knew didn't want, I just, gave them to the Goodwill. And I came over here, actually, I only came over here with like 3 shirts, no joke, because I knew that the clothes would be cheap over here. And I bought a few while I was here, and that's it. And shorts, I think I got like 5 or 6 pair. I don't know, maybe I got 7 pair of underwear, 1 for each day, just in case can't find a laundromat, or wash them yourself if you want to. That's what I've done a few times, just because of circumstances. Wherever you're at, if there's not a laundry close by, which is very rare, you can buy the detergents, the liquid detergents in any Sorry store in a little individual pack for like 13 pesos. I don't even know what that adds up. It's less than a quarter. But you can do that, and and wash them by hand if it comes down to it. It's not a big deal. Filipinos do it every day, or every time their clothes are dirty, at least. So it is doable. It just depends on what you're willing to do. And that was another thing that I wanted to address in the comments. I got a lot of people that'll tell me like what I should have did, and you're probably correct, but I can't go back in time. Unless you got a time machine, I can't fix what I did yesterday, unfortunately. But it doesn't. The negative comments, I swear, it doesn't bother me in any kind of way. I don't really focus on it. It's just if I see a couple of them that they are correct. Like you'll see people like say, like the rice ordeal didn't bother me. That was funny. But obviously they're correct, right? So I see other comments like me, I should wear my helmet. It's for my safety. I get it. Yep, I'm stupid for not wearing my helmet. I get it. And you are correct. Doesn't mean I have to like it. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to listen, for sure. That definitely won't happen. I'm going to wear my helmet because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to put a bad impression on American vloggers here in the Philippines. I think we're doing pretty good at that on our own. So I don't want to make it any worse. So even though I don't like to wear my helmet, even for my own safety, I'm going to do that because that is the rules. That is the law. I have heard many times in the comments, apparently, you don't even supposed to wear flip-flops when you're riding a bike. Apparently, you can get a ticket for that. But I've heard it in the comments, but I have never seen a single soul, not one time, riding a scooter that didn't have on flip-flops. So I don't know how, I'm sure that it is a law, but I don't know how strict they are about that one, because if they were going to pull people for that one, there would be literally 0 people riding down the road, because I haven't seen anybody even hardly ever wearing tennis shoes unless they were going to like a construction job. Other than that, everybody's wearing sandals or slides. But apparently, I think all it has to have, if you're wearing sandals, it just has that strap that goes on the back of your heel, and I think you're good. So that part's probably okay. But I think that was everything that I can think of in my comments. But soon, this video is probably not going to go too crazy, because I'm just addressing the things that I can, and it could take me possibly 2 days just to upload this thing. But Thursday, I plan to head to Darwin, and then I should be straight for Friday. I have to turn in the current scooter that oh yeah, that was something somebody had asked. Most of the scooter rentals, depending on the brand of scooter and the style of scooter, the one that I got right now is one of the higher end scooters. It's a 155, and I had to pay 10,000 pesos for a month if I wanted it for a month, and 5,000 for 2 weeks, which was a deal apparently. But the place that I'm renting in Darwin, they have a Click, which is a 125. Does the same thing. I mean, it gets you from point A to point B, just doesn't have the get up and go like the 155. But I can get it for 5,000 pesos for an entire month. And what I'm hoping is, come July, I will go over to Bohol, which I don't know which one's Bohol, but I think that's Cebu and that's Siquijor, and Bohol's somewhere behind those clouds right there. But I'll go over to Bohol and get my ACR card like the second week of July or first week of July. And then I'll check out some scooters over there and see what they have and see what the prices is, see if it's any different, which I think probably in Phang Lao, it seems like everything's a little bit more expensive. So I'm gonna take you guys along with me, and we'll look at the prices of the same bikes in Phang Lao, and then we'll come back to Dumageddi and look at the prices of motorbikes here in Dumageddi. I may even check a few of the outskirt towns where there's not a lot of foreigners to see, just out of curiosity, if the price changes any. And you know, it probably ain't a difference of 500 pesos, which is $10, to be honest with you. But we'll see. We'll see if there's any difference. It could be thousands. That would be cool. That'd be some good information for everybody, including myself. But when I do that, I'll come back to Dumageddi either way, and I'll get my driver's license here, because I'll have somewhere, you know, I don't know how that process goes. I've heard like 20 different stories of how to get that done, but I'm just gonna do it the legit way. Whatever the government guideline is, that's what I'm gonna go by. Whatever that cost is, I'll just suck it up. I've made up my mind, I'm gonna do everything by the book. As much as I'm not used to that, I'll do everything by the book, because I wanna be here long term, and I'm trying to change, you know, in all ways, in all aspects of who I've been in the past, and just trying to be a, you know, better dude. I'm not trying to give up who I am, because I don't think that can happen. But at the same time, you know, some of our habits that we developed over 50 years, at least for me, are not the best habits. And they seem to get us in trouble sometimes. And trouble costs money. And now that I'm doing this for YouTube, it's public. And y'all can see I'm not real shy. I can't keep my mouth shut, so I tell everything. Most of everything. I don't kiss and tell. I got a lot of people asking me about relationships, and right now, I'm not really. I actually did a little dating. Nothing too serious. Keeping it open, honest. But to be honest with you, I don't know if I ain't into that, man. You know, I think more often about buying a PlayStation than I do getting a girlfriend. I swear. It's not that I don't want the touch of a woman or the love of a woman. It's just I don't see the benefit no more. You know, 30 years of marriage, and I've said it 1,000 times, but you know, I still love my wife as a person. But man, living on your own, it's only been a few months for me, like, you know, a little while, but the 2 months in the Philippines has changed my outlook. There is opportunities, and I think just like women in the West, they know that there's always an opportunity to find someone, right? Any day they decide that they want a boyfriend, no matter what a Western woman looks like, and no matter what Western country she's in, she can have a boyfriend by that night. I mean, it's just the truth, pretty much. I mean, not 100% of them, but the majority. Not true for men. Actually, once we get over 40, you know what I mean, our value increases around the world, everywhere, except for maybe like the UK, Australia, and America. Everywhere else in the world, our value increases dramatically. And it's very, very obvious here. Like it stands out. But that alone for me, you know, it boosts my confidence. It makes me feel good. But at the same time, it reminds me I could get into a relationship at any moment. And just knowing is enough for me. It makes me feel good, boosts my confidence up a little bit. But then, you know, my big head takes over from my little head, and I start thinking about it, all of the things that come along with that. And I just don't want that. That just doesn't, I don't see the benefit in it. Not at this point in my life. I mean, if I found true love, sure. I'm not ducking true love by any means whatsoever. I would love that. But going out and looking for it just ain't my cup of tea. You know what I mean? Just ain't gonna happen. What else I got? Oh yeah, last things. I'm working on my Amazon store. Like I said, I'm kind of computer illiterate, so I've got a few things, like all of my vlogging gear is on there. I'm gonna go through, because it just so happened everything that I bought, except for like, I think the 3 shirts that I came with and my shorts, everything else that I brought with me in my bag, I purchased from Amazon. So I'm gonna go through all of my stuff once I get to Darwin, and I'll show you each and every item that I brought. And if I can find a way to put it on there, I may just have to make a video about it, but I'll tell you my real opinion on those items, because most of them were good. All of my camera equipment, this DJI thing is awesome. But some of the stuff, you know, I probably should have spent a few extra dollars on something similar than purchasing the ones that I got. As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, I'm not even gonna put those things up there. I'm gonna put up what I wish I would have bought. Because there's some things, like, I was just being a cheapskate. Like, hold on, I'll show you. This is just one small example. Like this thing here. I knew that this was supposed to hook to my backpack, but it's been very lightly used, you know what I mean? And this thing broke loose from the stitching within maybe the first time I used it. It, like, the thread that held it tight to that part, it holds this plastic. It came loose. It come unthreaded. But the thing was only, I don't know, 10 bucks. And it was probably the cheapest one they had available. So that was my fault. I was just thinking, they're all the same, you know. You look on, I don't know if you guys have ever looked on Alibaba, but you look on Alibaba and then you compare it to the stuff that you can see on Amazon, and you're like, well, damn, if I buy 100 of these, I can get them for $0.25 a piece. But who needs 100? But anyway, the point being, they're not all the same. And I don't know for sure which ones are the good ones. So I would recommend looking at the reviews, but I'm gonna look at the ones that I would like to get in the future. And I may throw those up there and see if you guys agree with me or whatever. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm gonna make this the end of this one. I'm out.